Here we have the hourly price chart for NVIDIA Corporation, stock ticker NVDA. As we can see here, we're starting to stabilize a bit, but we're trading at lower levels here, and this still does not look, uh, entirely encouraging. We do need to identify some important price levels here so that we can find some potential trading opportunities here going forward. Currently, the level of support that we're watching comes in. Let's get an exact level here. Now we've got lows of 116.56, which would have been posted during the July 18 trading session. This now does mark the price low for the stock during this recent wave lower. As we can see here, this did break our prior support zone, which came in right around 118. So we are seeing a decisive break here to the downside. We have seen an hourly close at the same time. Overall, this does not present a very good picture here. We are seeing a little bit of a bounce, but this is starting to look like a bit of a dead cat bounce because we're really heading into some resistance levels right at the near-term exponential moving averages. So, in particular, we can point to this yellow line here, which is currently containing prices. This is the 20-hour exponential moving average, the shorter term EMA on this chart. And as we can see here, we have seen a fairly substantial and clear cross with this line, this yellow line, through all of the other exponential moving averages. And this would include the blue line here, which is the 200-hour exponential moving average. That would be the longest term time frame moving average that we would be watching on this chart. So currently, it does look like we're kind of heading into some resistance here. As we can see, prices are kind of running into this line and failing here. This does suggest that ultimately these declines have not completed themselves, have not finished. We've got a lot of erratic trading activity here, not only in the moving averages themselves. Just kind of zoom in one more time here, but not only in the moving averages themselves, but also in the fact that we're seeing fairly significant price gaps to the downside. Obviously, NVIDIA is a mega cap stock, one of the most valuable companies in the world. It takes a large amount of money to move around the stock like this. It takes a large amount of money to push around, a mega cap like this. These are significant price moves. There's a lot of money that's really leaving the market at this point. So, the positive side here is that, when you do see a price gap, you can't expect it to be filled to the top side. But the problem here really is the fact that you've got all of this moving average resistance in the way. This could sort of prevent this from happening, could prevent prices from moving back into this area relatively soon. So, overall, this is not a great picture here. We are stabilizing here a bit, but I would argue that this is mostly due to the fact that prices need to sort of reset themselves a bit after falling into oversold territory in the relative strength index. That can be found down here, this purple line down here. As we can see on this would be July 17th, we entered into oversold territory. So when that occurs, you either need to see a corrective retracement to the top side, or you need to see at least a period of sideways consolidation. That can also be enough to sort of work off these oversold indicator conditions. Most likely, this latter scenario is what is occurring here with NVIDIA. As we can see here, we are kind of trading sideways overall. We've got some near-term highs, which posted at 122.40 to the top side. But once again, we can kind of zoom in here and see, where is the price failure? It occurs not only at this yellow line, but also at the blue line too, which, as I said, is the 200 period exponential moving average. So, we're seeing some moving average failures here on a fairly consistent basis. And it does appear to be preventing the stock from filling in this price gap. So that's a bit of a problem. The positive that you can point to here is the fact that we're rolling out of oversold territory. You've also got the relative strength index crossing above its moving average. The purple line is the RSI. The yellow line is the exponential moving average of the RSI. So, these are bullish signals, short-term bullish signals that are being seen in the RSI. But we can go back a little bit and also find some negatives here because the underlying positive momentum that was characterizing share price action, and this is positive momentum that had been in place since roughly June 24th. That uptrend is now completed itself. It's now finished. And that's why we're kind of pointing out this area here. And if we go back even further in time, back to the all-time highs when the stock posted highs of 140.76 on June 20th, we can see that the overall trend momentum based on those highs continues to be negative, and that downtrend has not broken. So these are some fairly significant price moves here. Um, these are factors that are going to need to be watched here. We did fail at a major 78.6% Fibonacci retracement of a prior move. I don't have that marked on this chart, but if you're interested in looking at that, you can see one of the prior videos. I go over that in depth more than once. This price failure occurred at a critical inflection point. It occurred at a time where the rest of the market was selling off, and it did appear that the technology space was being punished a bit more than many of the other sectors. So, these are fairly significant turnarounds here, and it does currently look like these declines have not yet completed themselves. Currently, we're breaking through the 618 retracement of this most recent dominant trend move higher. And we're not really seeing, the 786% retracement, which ironically is what kind of occurred during this initial price sell off. This was the level to watch, the 786 retracement. So we can see that this currently comes in just above 114.10, and obviously we're not quite there yet. So this does suggest that we could start to see a bit of a continued declines here, at least a bit further. Sort of the only thing that's holding up this stock at the moment would be this positive kind of indicator reading here in the RSI, which, as I said, is rolling over out of oversold territory. You've got a moving average crossover. Um, and there is plenty of room here to extend to the top side before you would start to become overbought. So, you've got a bit of a mixed picture here. I would say it's more negative than positive. This is being reflected in trading volumes for the stock. As we can see here, there's still much more, negative selling pressure than there is positive buying activity. So, overall, it might look like we're stabilizing here a bit. I wouldn't really believe that just yet. I think we're going to have to probably see a bit more of a decline here before things truly start to stabilize. But it is a bit encouraging that we're starting to see a bit of a sideways consolidation here, because we might be sort of approaching the end point of these recent declines. So here's the current market analysis for NVIDIA Corporation, stock ticker NVDA.